Chapter 61. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, Ye Tian also lost his original calmness, that kind of leisurely mood disappeared. I thought that the 9th level of Dao Palace realm could maintain the first place. I didn't expect that there is really a mountain that is higher than another mountain. Where did such a pervert come from? I want to see who is more perverted than me. Ye Tian wanted to see who he lost to, but the other people in the land of immortality were paying attention to something different, especially those people from big forces. Ye Tian alone made them feel difficult. If another person who cannot be controlled appears, I am afraid that the land of immortality will change in the future. First place, Chen Fan, cultivation, 2nd level of Xiantai realm, reward, 1/10 of the perception of the law of the great Tao, 1 level of cultivation, physical fitness improvement, Hongmeng creation body, emperor level skills. Boom! When the first place was announced, it seemed that the whole world was quiet in an instant. The land of immortality was quiet, and Blue Star was quiet too. Those who knew Chen Fan and those who didn't, all fell silent, airborne. Like Ye Yuqing, they were all airborne on the gold list. However, Ye Yuqing's 4th place was so shocking, then Chen Fan's 1st place would be 1,000 times more. Chen. Who is Chen Fan? 2nd level of Xiantai realm? This is too abnormal, right? If I remember correctly, when the list was updated half a month ago, wasn't there a person named Chen Fan? Yes, there is a surname Chen, but the other party is Chen Yan, not Chen Fan. Hiss. So scary. Half a month, the cultivation level broke through from the supernatural realm to the Xiantai realm. Is this still a human? Are you sure it's the supernatural realm? That the land of immortality began to discuss fiercely, and everyone wanted to know who this Chen Fan was. Blue Star. Dragon Country.at. This time, the audience of Dragon Country also came back to their senses from shock. Before the excitement, most people were incredible and unbelievable. After all the calculations, who would have thought that Chen Fan would actually become the number 1 on the list? Fuck, what did I say? I am the prophecy emperor, ha 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 ha. Chen Fan is indeed the number 1 on the gold list. See? This is the real awesome person. Are you convinced? I just ask you if you are convinced. Who dares to say bad things about Chen Fan in the future? Damn, if you say bad things about him again, you have bad intentions. Chen Fan is fighting hard in the secret realm, and you are talking about him here. Isn't it disheartening? What else can I say now? Ha ha ha, I know that I can always trust Chen Fan. After a brief shock, the citizens of Longguo were instantly boiling. Those who used to constantly mock Chen Fan seemed to have become dumb at this moment, or perhaps, they followed the wind and joined the ranks of boasting. As for who these people are, no one knows, and no one cares now. Dragon Country contestant Chen Fan topped the gold list and won the final reward for dominating the list. The reward is released. Here it comes. The reward for dominating the list is finally here. At this moment, not only Dragon Country, but also other countries on Blue Star are paying attention to what this reward is. What is the difference between the rewards for dominating the list? Rewards. Dragon Country's air is purified by 1/10, Dragon Country's land area is expanded by 1/10, and Dragon Country's national physique is enhanced by 1/10. 100-fold increase. Dragon Country's air is purified 10 times, Dragon Country's land area is expanded 10 times, and Dragon Country's national physique is enhanced 10 times. Air, land area, national physique. These 3 rewards made everyone in Dragon Country very excited, and also made people in other countries on Blue Star very jealous. Compared with Dragon Country's rewards, the previous rewards of the beautiful country are simply not worth mentioning and are not up to par at all. Suddenly, Blue Star shook violently. In just a moment, Dragon Country's land area continued to expand tenfold. The huge land area means that the potential for future development is also very huge. With area, there will be more resources and more people. There will never be so many uninhabitable areas due to war. My body seems to have really changed, and I feel a lot more relaxed. Me too, all the old ailments I had before seem to have suddenly disappeared. Ha ha ha, I can stand up. Isn't this too strong? Can it cure diseases? Open the window and breathe some fresh air, it's really fun, I guarantee you've never had this experience. Fuck, is this fresh air? Breathe it in and you feel like you've changed. The changes in Dragon Country made all its citizens ecstatic. People from other countries could only envy pitifully at this time, and even, think about how to join Dragon Country, especially those who have left Dragon Country. At this moment, they wish they could regain Dragon Country's nationality immediately. Woo woo woo, I want to go back to Dragon Country. Dragon Country is my home, I am a Dragon Countryman. No matter what method I use, no matter how much the price is, I must go back to Dragon Country. I want to return to the embrace of my motherland. Is there any way for everyone to contact the relevant departments of Dragon Country? We want to go back. Regret very much. Unfortunately, there is really no regret medicine in this world. The Tianjiao cultivation gold list is over. All blue star players who are not on the list are eliminated. The eliminated players, all the cultivation and resources owned by the secret realm will be cleared. Eliminated. After all, most of the players from the countries were eliminated. Blue Star originally had 200 countries, large and small, but now more than 70 have disappeared, but not many people have really succeeded in advancing. Being eliminated is both lucky and unfortunate. Fortunately, although this country has no rewards, it will not be punished and will still live a miserable life. Unfortunately, all the eliminated players will become sinners of this country. They have to bear the curses of the people and the resentful and hostile eyes from everyone. Even, there is the risk of being beaten to death by the people. All the eliminated players, who originally planned to use everything they got in the secret realm to bully others, also failed. After the announcement of Blue Star, the familiar mysterious voice appeared in the secret realm again. The Tianjiao cultivation gold list is over. Open the alchemy gold list. Alchemy gold list. The next list is actually the alchemy gold list. This made all the alchemists in the land of immortality nervous and excited. So, do they also have the opportunity to top the gold list? Huh. Why hasn't the list been announced? Should we announce the rules for getting on the list first? Last time, was it the list that was announced first, or the rules for getting on the list? I forgot. Damn, I forgot too. Just when everyone was confused, the rules were announced. Everyone was stunned when they saw the rules. Fuck. How come this thing has become different? Chapter 62. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The rules of the alchemy gold list are as follows. All alchemists under the age of 50 can participate. The requirements for the list are that the higher the level and the better the quality of the pills refined during the period of the gold list. The requirements of the alchemy gold list do not seem to be very high, but they definitely increase the intensity of competition. All alchemists under the age of 50 can participate, and the list ranking will not be announced during this period. In other words, no one knows whether the pills refined during the gold list meet the requirements for the list. This forces all alchemists to continuously improve their alchemy skills within this month. The most important thing is that the number of places on the gold list has been reduced. There are 50 places on the Tianjiao cultivation gold list, but when it comes to the alchemy gold list, there are only 40 left. This makes the atmosphere even more tense. After seeing the rules of the alchemy gold list, Chen Fan was also wondering in his heart whether the number of places after the alchemy gold list will gradually decrease. Is there only one person who can really make it to the end? You said. Chen Fan turned around and was about to talk to Ye Yuqing, but found that she was staring at him intently. Not only Ye Yuqing, but also the Grand Elder of Shantian's sect was petrified on the spot. The only normal people might be the other people in Shantian's sect, because they did not connect Chen Fan with Chen Fan, who was the first on the Tianjiao cultivation gold list. You are the second level of Xiantai realm. The first on the Tianjiao cultivation gold list. You told me you have no cultivation. You asked me to kill monsters and enemies every day. I treat you as a teammate, and you treat me as a resentment. Deception, this is definitely deception. Ye Yuqing felt like a fool, an idiot at this moment, being played around by Chen Fan all the time. She naively thought that the other party was actually doing it for her own good. Chen Fan looked at Ye Yuqing with some surprise at first, and then became helpless. Actually, I was also surprised. I don't know my specific cultivation level. I said that my strength will improve with yours. I always thought it was about the same as yours, but I didn't expect it to be so much higher. Maybe, this is a way to make up for my inability to practice. But the result is good. I believe that now you and I must have brought rich rewards to Dragon Country. This is the real meaning of our coming here. Chen Fan's serious nonsense, with a serious expression, made Ye Yuqing confused. Is it really the same as what Chen Fan said? He didn't know. You really didn't lie to me? Of course, do you think there is any benefit for me to lie to you? This seems to make sense. Ye Yuqing thought about it, but she really couldn't think of what benefit Chen Fan had in lying to herself. It's nothing more than being a little lazy and not liking to work hard, but at the critical moment, Chen Fan really didn't let her down, and he knows a lot and has a flexible mind, which helped a lot. Thinking about it, Ye Yuqing began to blame herself. She was so petty that she actually doubted Chen Fan. This was wrong. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have doubted you. Ye Yuqing said apologetically. It's normal for you to think so. I'm also surprised that my cultivation is so high. So, from now on, you must work harder and practice well. I will also provide you with all the good things. Chen Fan was shameless to the end. He never stopped fooling people and would continue to do so in the future. Ah. You have a higher cultivation than me, why do you still want me to work hard? Shouldn't I provide you with everything in the future? This will make it easier to get on the gold list, right? Ye Yuqing was slightly stunned. She couldn't understand where Chen Fan's logic came from. Look, if you improve, I will improve, and I will improve my cultivation level higher than yours. And you have a good understanding, so you can learn anything quickly, right? So, I must give you good things so that you can improve as soon as possible. That way, it's good for you and it's good for me. Everyone is good, Dragon Country is good. Isn't that the truth? Seeing that Ye Yuqing had been fooled by him and was a little confused, Chen Fan quickly began to change the subject. This scene made most of the people in Dragon Country confused. This little mouth is too good at fooling, isn't it? No. Ye Yuqing just believed it. Too naive, isn't it? I can see that Chen Fan is definitely lying and not honest at all. That's right, Sister Yuqing, don't be fooled by this scumbag, he doesn't tell a single truth. Hey, I say that's enough. You just had a little piece, and now you're starting over again, right? Did Chen Fan offend you? You don't know how to be grateful at all. I say, you guys, why are you so hard to please? Why are you a scumbag? Why are you dishonest? Damn, I finally understand. Are you a black? You just don't like Chen Fan. Without Chen Fan, can you be healthy? Without Chen Fan, can you breathe this fresh air? Without Chen Fan, will the territory of our Dragon Country expand? You won't benefit from the construction in the future. Oh, no, we know Chen Fan is very good, but he can't lie to Sister Yuqing. Yes, although Chen Fan has made great contributions, we can't turn a blind eye to his behavior just because of his contributions, right? Just because Chen Fan has worked so hard, do we have no right to tell the truth? This is unfair. If this is the case, what is the point of living? Fuck you. If I were Chen Fan and knew your faces, I would commit suicide on the spot and let you all be buried with me. Fuck, what a bunch of shit. Wow, you are so rude. No wonder you like Chen Fan so much. It seems that you are the same kind of people. It was quiet for a while before the live broadcast room started to quarrel again. Human nature, this is human nature. I am afraid that you are not good, and I am afraid that you are too good. You may have paid a lot for this country and made countless contributions, but there will always be a group of people who do not seek any purpose, but just don't like you, no matter how the times change. Such a group of people will always exist. There are disturbances outside, but it can't have any impact on Chen Fan, out of sight, out of mind. The imperial level skills are not as useful as the Qiankun Tunchen Ju. But this imperial level martial arts is not bad. Chen Fan, I want to leave this imperial level skills in Xiantian sect, what do you think? Ye Yuqing's imperial level skills are not as good as the imperial level Qiankuan Tuntian Ju. Practicing Qiankuan Tuntian Ju takes a lot of time, and it is not appropriate to distract yourself from learning other skills. As for staying in Xiantian sect, it's not impossible, but this skill should be practiced by the Grand Elder alone as much as possible. Before you have the strength, such a treasure is a disaster. It is impossible for Chen Fan not to understand that a man is innocent but guilty of possessing a treasure. The Xiantian sect today does not have the strength to possess and protect the imperial level skills, but practicing secretly is not a problem, but I am afraid of publicity. Okay, I know, I will tell master. Well, if you have good martial arts, then practice. By the way, I have. Among Chen Fan's rewards, there is another imperial level skill. Chen Fan was about to give it to Ye Yuqing for practice, but when he took it up and looked at it, he was stunned. It's over. You can't practice it. Chapter 63. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Fan realized that the imperial level technique he had obtained was actually related to his physique. Imperial level technique, Hongmeng creation art, fragment, Hongmeng creation body, Hongmeng creation art, are they actually matched? And to practice Hongmeng creation art, one must have Hongmeng creation body. In short, no one except Chen Fan can practice this technique, and this is actually a fragment. The imperial level technique should be considered the top level technique in this land of immortality, but this is a fragment. What level of existence would the complete Hongmeng creation art be? What's wrong? Ye Yuqing looked at Chen Fan in confusion, not knowing what went wrong on his side. Nothing. It's just that this imperial level technique I obtained is not suitable for you. It doesn't matter, you have given me a lot of treasures, you can keep this. Ye Yuqing didn't think there was anything wrong with this, but felt a lot more relaxed. Finally, there was no need to feel embarrassed anymore. Forget it, let's talk about this later. The most urgent thing now is the alchemy gold list. Although Chen Fan didn't know that after being eliminated, everything he had now would disappear, but he knew very well that only by going all the way until the day of passing the level, maybe he could really get rid of the shackles. He not only wanted to top the cultivation gold list, but also any list in the secret realm. Chen Fan would not let go, not only to be on the top, but also to continue to be the first. Chen Fan and the others walked towards the Supreme Elder, and the expression of the Supreme Elder was very complicated at this time. First on the Tianjiao cultivation gold list. This is the most talented, most potential, and most likely to become the overlord in the entire land of immortality. Xian Daoyin, meet Mr. Chen. If I have offended you before, I hope you don't mind. Xian Daoyin. Chen Fan just knew the name of the Supreme Elder. Looking at the old guy's expression, it was as if he was afraid that he would eat him. Don't be so nervous, Grand Elder. Don't forget that I am from your Xiantian sect. Your direct disciple, Ye Yuqing's follower. Chen Fan's words made the Grand Elder even more nervous. The identity of this follower was decided by him. Follower? I feel more like your farmhand. Ye Yuqing replied depressedly. Ye Yuqing can chat and joke with Chen Fan without any scruples, but Xian Daoyin dare not. Mr. Chen, please forgive me. At the beginning, I really didn't know. For a person like you, Seeing the master's reserved and embarrassed look, Ye Yuqing couldn't stand it anymore. Master, you don't have to be like this. Chen Fan is not a bad person. He doesn't have such a small heart. Although Ye Yuqing understands that the master may be worried that Chen Fan will take revenge and show off his strength, but Chen Fan obviously didn't behave like this. Is he too cautious? I know, but I was indeed rude before. Although Ye Yuqing had made it very clear and Chen Fan did not embarrass him, being cautious was their natural reaction when facing a strong man. Grand Elder, although we are not familiar with each other, we are not enemies. Don't be so polite, I still have something to ask you. After Chen Fan said this, Xian Daoyin relaxed a lot. Mr. Chen, what's the matter? Could it be? You want to participate in the alchemy gold list? Xian Daoyin was shocked, and felt that it was reasonable, but also a little unexpected. Is this going to suppress an era? I know a little about alchemy, but not much. Although there are alchemists in the north, they are definitely not more than the third grade. In addition to insufficient personal ability and resources, there are other problems. To become an alchemist, you need to have a certain talent and understanding. This threshold is higher than cultivation. But just having these is not enough. The control of flames, the quality of flames and the grade of alchemy furnaces all determine the ultimate achievement of an alchemist. If you want to participate in the alchemy gold list, you can only leave the north. Talent and understanding, Ye Yuqing is definitely not bad, it's just that this flame and alchemy furnace are in short supply now. The fact that there are no high-level alchemists in the north is largely limited by these conditions. Outside the north. Master, we too don't know much about outside the north. Do you have any suggestions? That when it comes to outside the north, Xian Daoyin's eyes show a look of reminiscence, still scared. Chen Fan actually saw such emotions in the other person's eyes. I am when I was young and ignorant, I thought I could lead Xiantian's sect out of the northern border. But after going out and exploring, I realized how naive I was. The world outside is thousands of times more dangerous than the northern border. Forget it, let's not talk about these old things. If you want to learn alchemy, I did hear some when I was traveling. After leaving the northern border, I went all the way west and heard that there was an alchemy sect called Yaoshan Valley. Yaoshan Valley? Thank you, Grand Elder, then let's go to Yaoshan Valley and take a walk. No matter how powerful Yaoshan Valley is, the first step is always to go out. The information that Xian Daoyin can get is limited. Whether there is any deviation, he needs to ask after going out. Are you leaving now? Yes, I will leave tomorrow. Will you come back? Xian Daoyin asked a question he had never dared to ask, and was even more afraid to hear the answer, because he already had the answer in his heart. The road ahead is long, maybe I will come back, but I don't know how long it will take. Chen Fan said lightly. Master, if the two of us make a name for ourselves outside, you can bring Xiantian's sect to join us. Hearing Ye Yuqing's words, Xian Daoyin shook his head. Go out. With the current strength of Xiantian's sect, going out is equivalent to sending death. Before finding anyone, they were wiped out. Xian Daoyin did not accept it, but he did not refuse it either. When Ye Yuqing handed the imperial-level skills to Xian Daoyin, the other party was obviously excited and tears filled his eyes. Chen Fan was at peace, but because of his sudden appearance, the entire land of immortality had a magnitude 12 earthquake, in the Immortal Valley. Chu Xiaonan and Yun Mengran also smiled at each other at this time. I didn't expect that this Chen Fan was so evil that he could even hide his cultivation from you and me. It's incredible that such a person can appear in the north. It seems that this land of immortality will be lively in the future. What? Want to go out? Well, it's time to go back. Okay, no matter where you go, I will accompany you. Before the voice fell, the figures of the two disappeared out of thin air, and even the thatched house in the Immortal Valley disappeared with it. It was as if no one had ever lived here. On the other side, the 3 immortal families and the 4 immortal gates are now in heated discussions. We must find out this Chen Fan. We must find out his character and methods of doing things. If we can make friends with him, it would be the best. If not, this person is arrogant and domineering, and we can't stay here for long. Kill him. Chapter 64. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Such a talent must not be offended. We must win him over. We must do everything we can to win over Chen Fan. There is also Yi Tian. These two are truly talented. If we get one of them, we will have no worries in the future. But the focus is still Chen Fan. We must win him over to our side. Remember, at all costs, no matter what conditions he puts forward, we must satisfy him. Some people want to attack Chen Fan, and naturally some people want to win over Chen Fan. In addition to Chen Fan, Yi Tian is also in this line. Originally, Yi Tian was the first choice, but now that Chen Fan is there, Ye Tian seems not so important. For a while, all the people named Chen Fan in the entire land of immortality fell into torture. It seems that there is one more competitor. Chen Fan. It seems that it should be you. You will also participate in the alchemy gold list, right? Ye Tian also set his goal on Chen Fan at this time. There was a turbulent situation and dangers everywhere, but all this had no effect on Chen Fan. Just as Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing set out for Yaoshan Valley, a big change also took place on Blue Star. Why? Why can they return to Dragon Country, but we can't? Why don't you let us go back? We are Dragon Country people. What right do you have to stop us from going back? We want to go home. The environment of Dragon Country has changed, and it has become the most desirable place for everyone on Blue Star to live. Many countries have taken the initiative to contact Dragon Country, hoping to become a vassal of Dragon Country and live in Dragon Country. Even the entire country was dissolved, and everyone joined Dragon Country. Dragon Country has not agreed to all these people's requests for the time being. The first thing the Dragon Country's top leaders did was to find a way to bring some people who were abroad but still Dragon Country back to China. A Dragon Country identity certificate is something that many people dream of. This is a pass, a certificate to the safest country in the world. Sorry, you are no longer Dragon people. Our mission this time is to take our people home. Rejected. They actually refused. This made those who gave up their Dragon nationality very angry. Why? Why should they be treated differently? If you don't have Dragon nationality, are you no longer Dragon people? It's not fair. What you are doing is very unfair. Why are we not considered Chinese? Aren't we yellow-skinned, black-haired, and black-eyed? We just joined other countries, but this doesn't mean that we are no longer Dragon people. I don't care. I must go back. Even if you stop me, I will go back. Seeing the faces of these people, the Dragon Country's responsible person looked at them with contempt and disgust. Now you remember that you are Dragon people. What did you do before? In order to survive better, the people of Longwa went to many places. After all, there were not many places that Longwa could adapt to live in back then, and we all understand this. But the day you voluntarily give up your Longwa identity, you are no longer a Longwa person. They are just like you. In order to survive, they have to leave their homes and their country. But no matter where they go, no matter when, they always remember their identity and refuse to give it up. But what about you? You don't remember where your roots are. I can understand that you gave up your nationality for survival. But the moment you give up, it means that you will forever lose all the rights and benefits that Longwa citizens have. Sorry, I can't help you. Despair. After hearing this answer, everyone fell into deep despair. After despair, there is resentment towards Longwa. Seeing the resentful eyes of this group of people, the person in charge of Longwa knew that this was a group of ungrateful wolves that could not be tamed. There was no stopping, and there was no pity. The plane of Longwa resolutely flew back to the direction of the motherland. In all directions, the citizens of Longwa who were once forced to flee abroad finally returned to their homeland again. When they stepped into the land of Longwa and saw this familiar yet unfamiliar environment, everyone's eyes were filled with tears. I'm home. I'm finally home. I thought I would never have the chance to come back in this life. Finally, we don't have to wander around anymore. Longwa finally has a place for us. There was a cry. At this moment, no one was unmoved. Even those who were responsible. The blamer also shed tears at this time. They could not feel the feelings of these people, but they knew the difficulties of leaving their hometown and being forced to live in a foreign country. Go home. From now on, you can start your new life on this land. And for all this, you have to thank two people. That is Ye Yuqing, and Chen Fan. Ye Yuqing. Chen Fan. These are two names deeply engraved in the hearts of the people of Longwa. They are the heroes of Longwa and the future of Longwa. It is precisely because of these two people that they have the qualifications to go home and Longwa has the qualifications to survive. Yes, we should thank Ye Yuqing and Chen Fan. I didn't believe in saviors before, but now I firmly believe that they are our saviors. Okay, everyone, be happy, follow me to the resettlement place first. We are still anxious to watch Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing's live broadcast. Yes, 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 we also want to watch Chen Fan's live broadcast. The live broadcast in the secret realm has now become an indispensable part of many people's lives. Today's dragon country is in ruins, but it still can't stop everyone's enthusiasm for watching live broadcasts. In the secret realm, after Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing left the north, they rushed at full speed. At this moment, Ye Yuqing realized how terrifying Chen Fan's speed was. According to Xian Daoyin, the journey that originally took half a month actually took only 1 day to arrive. This also includes the time for asking for directions. Horror. Too terrifying. Chen Fan, why are you so fast? Is this the speed of the Xiantai realm? Seeing Ye Yuqing's shocked expression, Chen Fan smiled and nodded, without denying it at all. Yes, this is the speed of the Xiantai realm. I am also surprised. But the effect is very good. How could Chen Fan say that this was the credit of the Cloud Realm? If he said it, how to explain where the Cloud Realm came from? I hope I can break through to the Xiantai Realm soon. Is this the Medicine God Valley? How? The two came to the vicinity of the Medicine God Valley, but the scene in front of them was really a bit surprising. In Xian Daoyin's words, the Medicine God Valley is a very powerful alchemist sect. Why does this place give people a desolate feeling? Did I go the wrong way? How old is the Supreme Elder this year? Chen Fan's sudden question made Ye Yuqing stunned. More than 100 years old. He came here when he was young, but now 100 years have passed. It seems. Never mind, there is someone over there, let's go over and ask first. Chen Fan saw a young man in the distance, carrying a basket to collect herbs. 2 figures flashed and appeared beside the young man, and the young man sat down in fear. Excuse me, is this Yaoshan Valley? Chen Fan asked. Who are you? Suddenly, the young man's eyes lit up, turned his head and shouted loudly, hurry up, there are guests. Chapter 65. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The young man's excitement made Chen Fan and the others puzzled. Are the people in Yaoshan Valley so enthusiastic? Chen Fan was about to ask when he saw 5 or 6 people suddenly rushing out from a distance. These 5 or 6 people were of different ages, some in their early 20s, and some who looked to be around 40. All 5 or 6 people had excited expressions on their faces and rushed straight towards Chen Fan and the others. We are sorry for not welcoming you, sorry for not welcoming you. I think you two have extraordinary temperaments, you must be the best of the best. I wonder what you two are doing in Yaoshan Valley. But, to become my disciple and learn from me. Enthusiastic, one more enthusiastic than the other. Everyone's face was filled with a bright smile. Chen Fan understood after hearing this, how much do they need apprentices? As for being so excited when they saw someone coming. Good guy, this posture is afraid that Chen Fan and the others will turn around and leave. Several people came forward and surrounded Chen Fan and the other two. Medicine God Valley, will you teach alchemy? But when they heard this, their eyes lit up. There's a chance. Of course, Medicine God Valley is a place for alchemy. If you two can get in, I will definitely not let you down. The people in Medicine God Valley became more enthusiastic when they learned that someone really came to learn from them. Several pairs of eyes stared at Chen Fan and the other two, as if they were looking at rare treasures. Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing were a little helpless, and even had the idea that they came to the wrong place. This has nothing to do with the alchemy sect mentioned by Xian Daoyin. The other party seemed to see the confusion and puzzlement in Chen Fan and the other two's eyes. So he hurried to explain. Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. Don't look at the current appearance of Medicine God Valley, but you have to believe that our alchemy is not in vain. It's just. Forget it, there's no point in saying more. Let's go, I'll take you to see the master. As long as you are willing to learn, the master will definitely teach you everything he knows. The other party was so enthusiastic that Chen Fan and the others couldn't refuse. Besides, since they were here, they might as well find out the truth. Maybe there would be unexpected surprises. After following a few people into Medicine God Valley, Chen Fan realized that Medicine God Valley was really unusual. Although there were not many people, Medicine God Valley was very large and had many buildings. It can be seen that there should have been many people here, but I don't know why it has become like this now. After turning around, they finally stopped at a two-story attic. There was a pavilion outside the attic. At this time, an old man with white hair was sleeping soundly on a chair under the pavilion. "Please wait a moment, I'll go and wake up the master." The oldest one walked to the old man and said respectfully, "Master, a guest has arrived." After calling him once, the other party did not wake up. This made Ye Yuqing look at Chen Fan and the others awkwardly, and then he took action directly. "Master, a guest has arrived." The other party slapped the chair hard and shouted, and the old man suddenly opened his eyes. "Huh? What's wrong? What happened?" The old man was confused, with a hint of anger. "Master, a guest has arrived, learning alchemy." "What? Where are the people? Then what are you still standing here for? Catch them quickly, don't let them run away." After this, the other disciples were embarrassed. Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing also smiled bitterly and shook their heads. "This old man is quite interesting." Master, I'm here, please pay attention to your image." Is he here?" The old man seemed to be a little sober at this time, and he also found Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing. "I'm sorry for not welcoming you, You two have extraordinary temperaments at first glance, you must be the best of the best." "You." Exactly the same, a copy and paste of the opening remarks. Is this the corporate culture slogan of your Yaoshan Valley? This old man doesn't have the mystery and seriousness of a so-called hermit, he looks like a grandfather next door, which gives people a kind of intimacy. "Are you the master of Medicine God Valley?" "Ah, what is the title of master?" "It's just a false title. If it's not enough, you are just a lousy medicine refiner." Master. Ahem, yes, I am the master of Medicine God Valley, Danshanfeng. Chen Fan suddenly felt that he understood why Medicine God Valley became like this. Such a master has good affinity, but he is not suitable to be the master of the house. He is obviously old, but he is as rich as a child, childish. "Are you two here to learn alchemy?" Dan Chenfeng tried to put on a serious expression. Originally. What does this mean? Originally, then there is no problem. I think you two must have supreme talent, so I will accept you as my disciples. Forget about the apprenticeship ceremony, we in Yaoshan Valley don't care about these things. If you are interested, you don't need the apprenticeship ceremony. If you are not interested, it's useless. Why don't you guys quickly arrange accommodation for your junior brothers and sisters? Dan Chenfeng talked to himself and actually wanted to get away with it. How afraid is he that the people who come here will run away? Or has he run away many times before? Wait a minute. Do you think the two of us are really so easy to fool? You can fool us with just a few words. Hey, Yuqing, what are you doing? Aren't you preparing a place to live? Seeing Ye Yuqing's actions, Chen Fan looked helpless. I forgot that this girl is so easy to fool. Where to live? It's not decided yet. Chen Fan is not so easy to fool. He wants them to join without any practical benefits. They have just arrived at the land of immortality and cannot gain a foothold. The happy smiles of Dan Chenfeng and others suddenly disappeared from their faces. I thought they were fooled, but I didn't expect that there was still a quick reaction. Don't you have any doubts about our Medicine God Valley? That we don't know how confident Dan Chenfeng is that he can ask this question. Is there any need to question this? Isn't it clear at a glance? It's not impossible for us to join. But I hope to see your sincerity. Do you know who she is? Hearing this, Dan Chenfeng and others were also confused. Who is she? Is she a big shot? I don't know the name of this girl yet. Ye Yuqing, Ye Yuqing. Hearing these three words, the first reaction of Dan Chenfeng and the others was familiarity, very familiarity, but it stands to reason that they should not have heard of a girl of this age. Master. Seeing his apprentice's embarrassing appearance, Dan Chenfeng did not give him a good face. Speak properly, where did you learn such bad habits? Dan Chenfeng said unhappily. The apprentice took a deep breath, and then said excitedly, Master, Ye Yuqing, she is Ye Yuqing. She is 4th on the Tianzhou cultivation gold list, and she is the one who was airborne on the list. As soon as these words came out, Dan Chenfeng's expression changed. Ye Yuqing, good guy. Dan Chenfeng's performance is no different from his apprentice. Well, the teaching method of Yaoshan Valley is different. Is stuttering within the scope of teaching? Don't go. Whatever you want, just ask. In Medicine God Valley, everything you want can be given to you. Including me, and them. As long as you want it, it's all yours. Chapter 66. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After being on the golden list of prodigy cultivation, Ye Yuqing's name can be said to be resounding throughout the land of immortality. Her fame directly surpassed that of Li Daoxian, who was ranked 3rd, and was only slightly inferior to Ye Tian and Chen Fan. It is conceivable how someone would feel when they knew that they were facing this legendary super genius. Apart from anything else, the expressions of the people at Danshan Peak were enough to explain everything. Ha ha ha, I'm dying of laughter. These people's expressions are too funny, aren't they? My dragon country is mighty, Ye Yuqing is mighty, this is the face of our dragon country. Is a name alone enough to shock people? These people are too surprised, aren't they? You know shit, is it just a simple thing like a name? It's a symbol of strength, talent and even future achievements. But why do I feel that this Medicine God Valley is a bit unreliable? The name is awesome, but why is this place so desolate? That's right, if we find the wrong place, will it affect the competition on the alchemy gold list? I don't know, but I'm more curious about one thing now. What is it? If they knew that the person next to them was Chen Fan, the number 1 on the gold list, what would their expressions be? This. Damn, I'm looking forward to it too. Ye Yuqing was a little embarrassed at this time. Dan Chenfeng's enthusiasm made her a little unacceptable, especially the last sentence, I'm not a fangirl, what do I need them to do? This. Senior Dan Chenfeng, why don't you calm down first? I just want to learn alchemy and participate in this alchemy gold list. As for you, I think it's not necessary. Ye Yuqing said with a little embarrassment. No problem, isn't it just alchemy? We are very good at this. With your talent, you can definitely become an excellent alchemist. Dan Chenfeng was very excited at this time. He didn't expect that the disciple who came this time was actually a person of Ye Yuqing's level, not to mention Yaoshan Valley. Any sect or force in the entire Chongqing land would probably warmly welcome Ye Yuqing to join. Chen Fan, what do you think? Ye Yuqing glanced at Chen Fan and finally decided to let him make the decision. Well, wait a little longer. At this time, Chen Fan knew that he couldn't be anxious. It wouldn't waste time to find out clearly. If you take the wrong road and change to another place, I don't know how long it will take. Chen Fan. You are Chen Fan. Chen Fan, who ranks first on the gold list. The most mysterious, talented, and most powerful son of heaven in the land of immortality. This. Is the day of my Medicine God Valley's rise finally coming? The 2 words Chen Fan are far more explosive than Ye Yuqing. Dan Chenfeng could still say a few words excitedly, but the disciples next to him were completely petrified at this time. This happiness came too suddenly, right? Hey, master, something seems wrong. This Chen Fan has no cultivation. I am a 5th level cultivator in the Xiantai realm. If it were Chen Fan, I would not be able to detect his strength at all. He doesn't seem to have any strength. At this time, Dan Chenfeng's eldest disciple came over and expressed his doubts. This. Dan Chenfeng was also stunned. Did he recognize the wrong person? But this seems normal. How could the 1st and 4th on the gold list appear together? Actually, I really am that Chen Fan. Chen Fan shrugged helplessly. If you can't see the cultivation level, then it's not him. Superficial. I don't believe it. You're bragging. The eldest disciple of Danchen Peak looked unconvinced. How about we have a fight? He really is Chen Fan. Ye Yuqing was also a little helpless on the side. Ah, yes, 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 he is, he is. You brainless thing, if someone says it is, then it is, what are your refutation? Ah. Oh, I see, I see. Chen Fan, he is Chen Fan, junior sister Ye said it is, then it must be, there is no mistake. Yes, 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 you have to listen to your junior sister Ye, can she still lie, act. Continue acting. The master and disciples sang in unison, and Ye Yuqing became a junior sister again. That's Chen Fan, right? It can be seen that you make the decision between the two of you. Then tell me, what are the conditions for you to join our medicine god valley? Dan Chenfeng asked excitedly, conditions? First of all, you should know that we are here to participate in the alchemy gold list. So, I want to know whether the alchemy skills you have mastered are enough to support us to enter the list, or even enter the top 10. Hearing this, Dan Chenfeng said without hesitation, of course. Although my Yaoshan Valley is now in decline, everyone knows that my Yaoshan Valley once had a transcendent status in the land of immortality. As long as you have enough time and energy, it will be absolutely no problem to become a top alchemist. Dan Chenfeng was very confident about this. On the one hand, he believed in Ye Yuqing's talent, and on the other hand, he was confident in his own alchemy. Seeing that he didn't seem to be lying, Chen Fan continued to ask, okay, then I ask you, what about the flame and alchemy furnace needed for alchemy? You should know that if you want to successfully top the alchemy gold list, ordinary flames and alchemy furnaces are not of much use. Hearing this, Dan Chenfeng hesitated a little. I understand your feelings, but you really can't use these for a while. But I can guarantee that as long as you meet the requirements, I will tell you without reservation. A third-grade alchemist does not need to use special flames. When you have the qualifications, I will tell you how to obtain it. Prerequisite, you must first successfully refine a fourth-grade pill. Fourth-grade pill? In other words, you must first become a fourth-grade alchemist before you can tell me how to obtain the special flame. What have you considered? Dan Chenfeng looked relaxed on the surface, but he was very nervous and uneasy inside. With the current state of Yaoshan Valley, if there is no outstanding disciple to lead, it may never be able to recover its former glory. Chen Fan, you decide. Okay. Then trust the senior for now. Ha! Hearing this, Dan Chenfeng and the others all breathed a sigh of relief. There are finally new people in the village. Dan E, Dan Air, you two go and prepare accommodation for your junior brothers and sisters. What are you still doing? Yes, yes, we'll go now. Dan E and Dan Air. This name is too damn casual, isn't it? No hurry. Learn alchemy first. Huh? Is it so urgent? Okay, okay. Point 3 consecutive okay words are enough to show how happy Dan Chenfeng is at this time. Only those who work hard can achieve something. And you too are like this. Then I will teach you alchemy first. This alchemy is different from cultivation. It relies entirely on technical skills. There is no point in talking more. Follow me to the alchemy room. I will show you how to do it myself. Chapter 67. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although Dan Chenfeng is cynical, he is very serious and rigorous in his profession. In Yaoshan Valley, there are not many other things, but there are enough alchemy rooms. There is an alchemy room at a certain distance. The reason why these alchemy rooms are separated is for their own safety and the safety of others. Imagine what a spectacular scene it would be if dozens of alchemy rooms exploded at the same time. Dan Chenfeng found an alchemy room that was relatively close, and took Chen Fan and the others in. The alchemy room was very empty, with an alchemy furnace in the middle, which looked like an ordinary alchemy furnace. There are a few things you need to remember when refining pills. First, the materials for refining pills must be fully prepared. No step can be missed. Although the possibility of mistakes in refining low-level pills is small, you must develop a good habit. The age of the medicinal materials, the quality of the demon pills, and the order in which the materials are extracted and refined. After remembering these clearly, it is time to control the temperature. Different materials require different temperature intensities and times. A slight mistake will affect the final effect of the pill. This is the recipe for the first-grade pill, the hemostatic pill. The materials, order, and steps for refining the hemostatic pill are all recorded here. As he spoke, Dan Chenfeng took out the recipe for the hemostatic pill. Chen Fan took a look and found that the materials for the hemostatic pill were not complicated. The hemostatic grass, the first-grade demon pill, and some auxiliary materials only added up to 5 or 6. This hemostatic grass has the effect of stopping bleeding, just apply it externally. Why do we need to make a hemostatic pill? Ye Yuqing asked in confusion. Hearing this, Dan Chenfeng smiled and said, that's because the effect of the pill is better. It will take effect immediately after taking it, and the pill effect will instantly protect the bleeding location. And, don't you think the pill sounds more advanced? Looking at Dan Chenfeng's arrogant expression, it can be imagined that all alchemists should be proud. To put it simply, the alchemists think that the pill is high-end and effective, and others have not been able to refine it. You watch it. Before he finished speaking, Dan Chenfeng waved his hand, and the materials needed for the hemostatic pill floated beside him. Then he turned over his palm, and a blue flame appeared. Seeing this flame, Chen Fan and the others knew that this was not an ordinary flame, but a special spiritual fire of heaven and earth. Watch carefully and remember every detail. Chen Fan and the others watched Dan Chenfeng's alchemy process carefully. For Dan Chenfeng, refining a first-grade elixir was too simple. The process was not complicated and did not take much time. Soon, a fragrance wafted out of the alchemy furnace. It's done. Dan Chenfeng opened the alchemy furnace, and 5 crystal-clear elixirs, hemostatic pills, suddenly appeared inside. Seeing the finished elixir, Dan Chenfeng nodded with satisfaction. Looking at the quality, it is undoubtedly top grade. But for an alchemist of my level, it would be strange if I couldn't produce a top-grade elixir when refining a first-grade elixir. How is it? Did you remember it? Dan Chenfeng first boasted to himself, and found that Chen Fan and the others ignored him, so he touched his nose awkwardly. Remember it. Ye Yuqing nodded. What about you? Seeing Dan Chenfeng's inquiring eyes, Chen Fan shook his head. I can't remember. Chen Fan was very straightforward. Remember? This kind of thing can't be said even if you are beaten to death. Didn't remember. Aren't you Chen Fan? With such a talent, can't you remember? With your talents and understanding, isn't it easy to remember everything you see? Dan Chenfeng frowned. It was reasonable for Ye Yuqing to remember, but Chen Fan didn't remember, which surprised him a little. Chen Fan, how about asking the senior to refine it again? Hearing Ye Yuqing's words, Chen Fan shook his head and said, just remember it. Try to refine the pill first, and I'll tell you about the rest later. Dan Chenfeng is here, and Chen Fan doesn't want to say too much. Okay then. Senior Dan, can you? Don't you call me master? Oh, master, can you provide the materials for the hemostatic pill? Good disciple, of course. Dan Chenfeng was not stingy and directly took out 10 portions of materials, intending to let Ye Yuqing practice first. You can use ordinary flames first. You can use ordinary flames to refine the 4th-grade primary pill. Use the spiritual power in your body to drive the flame to complete the quenching. You try it first. Hearing Dan Chenfeng's words, Ye Yuqing nodded, then she slowly closed her eyes, and the process of Dan Chenfeng refining the elixir just now kept emerging in her mind. Suddenly, Ye Yuqing opened her eyes abruptly. Following Dan Chenfeng's steps, she began to extract the materials step by step. Seeing Ye Yuqing's process, Dan Chenfeng nodded with satisfaction. Sure enough, talented people can do twice the result with half the effort. Since it was the first time to refine the elixir, Ye Yuqing's speed was not as fast as Chen Fan's. So fast, after all, the flames are different, so when extracting, the time and intensity are different. Time passed by, and as the materials were refined and extracted one by one, it finally reached the final step of making the elixir. When the fragrance of the elixir came from the alchemy furnace, Chen Fan was also shocked. Such a fast speed, did you succeed in refining the elixir for the first time? Get 100 times crit from your teammates. Teammates successfully refined a first-grade elixir, 100 times crit, and the success rate of refining a first-grade elixir increased to 100%. This time, the crit surprised Chen Fan. It didn't improve the level of the alchemist, but directly improved the success rate. 100% success rate. Isn't this too scary? Ha ha ha. Good, very good. I didn't expect you to succeed in refining the elixir for the first time. Look at the quality, although it can't reach the best, it can be regarded as intermediate. Very good, very good. With your talent, as long as you work harder, I believe it won't take long before you can be promoted to a third-grade alchemist, or even a fourth-grade one. Chen Fan was very excited. After so many years, Yaoshan Valley finally had a potential disciple. How long will it take? Ye Yuqing asked nervously. If it were someone else, it would probably take several years. But for you, a month might be enough. 1 month? Too slow. Even if you become a fourth-grade alchemist, you will never be able to make it onto the alchemy gold list with such strength. Senior Dan, can you prepare more alchemy materials? By the way, there are also second-grade and third-grade single prescriptions, including the materials for refining. The more the better. Before Ye Yuqing could speak, Chen Fan had already said everything she wanted to say. Oh. What are you planning to do? Okay, I'll go and ask them to prepare now. By the way, why don't you call me master? I haven't learned it. That makes sense. Chen Fan didn't continue to dwell on this question, but turned and left the alchemy room. After Chen Fan left, Ye Yuqing looked at Chen Fan and asked, can you really not learn it? How about we each have an alchemy room? We have to strive for one person to succeed anyway. No, you work hard, and I'll help you. If you can do it, I can do it, but just because I can does not mean you can do it. Do you understand this? Ye Yuqing was stunned by what Chen Fan said. What do you know and I can do? No. Chen Fan, are you sure your ability is confinement? No. Asshole, I knew you were lying to me. Chapter 68. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Fan's talent is not confinement. This news can be said to be very explosive. Ye Yuqing's eyes were filled with anger at this time. She had made 1,000 calculations, but she didn't expect that she would be fooled by him again. Fuck, this news is too explosive. Chen Fan's talent is not confinement. Nonsense, I guessed it a long time ago. If it was just confinement, how could it become stronger with Ye Yuqing's strength? That makes sense. Why didn't I notice it before? I really admire him. Is there a single truth in his mouth? I think there should be, but not much. Sometimes I really don't understand. With so many shortcomings in Chen Fan, why are there so many people praising him? Who doesn't have shortcomings? You don't. No matter what, Chen Fan is fighting for Longhua and all Longhua people. Is it wrong to support him? I didn't say you are wrong, but can't we say it if there is a problem? I just simply don't like him. Yes, we don't like him, that's all. Can't we be confused about why you like him? You don't like him, why can't you like your personal preferences on others? He is worthy of our support. What are you? Yes, you are right, I don't bother to talk nonsense with your brain disability. Life has gotten better, and you have more leisure time. Hiding in the dark shadows behind, showing your ignorance recklessly. Isn't this the behavior of eating and drinking with the big brother, and scolding the big brother after eating and drinking? The relevant departments of Longwa have been investigating the comments on the barrage. It's a pity that the secret live broadcast can't control the comments, otherwise the relevant departments of Longwa would not allow the barrage in the live broadcast room to become like this. Can you figure it out? You can't figure out the secret realm, but live broadcast is not okay. Do you want me to plant someone next to everyone? Let's see who is always leading the rhythm in Longwa's live broadcast room. Report, we will try our best, but we suspect that at the beginning, it may not be our Longwa people who are leading the rhythm. It's just that when more people say it, naturally a group of people will be led astray, and they don't even need others to lead the rhythm, they enjoy it. Ha! Not Longwa people. Hearing this, everyone frowned. In the secret realm live, no matter which country people are from, as long as they enter the perspective of our country's players, they will enter the corresponding live broadcast room. Although they don't speak the Dragon Country language, when they speak their own language, it will be translated into Dragon Country characters and appear on the barrage. So we suspect that from the beginning of the secret realm live, it was those foreigners who frequently set the pace and caused most people to follow suit. Hearing this analysis, everyone felt that it made sense, but in this way, the investigation is more difficult. Although there are not many countries left on Blue Star, there are still many. It is impossible to install surveillance on everyone, right? They have no way to influence Chen Fan, so they choose to instigate among us. In the end, the situation is bad, and there may even be a situation of mutual fighting. Don't dare to confront our Dragon Country head-on, so they can only choose such despicable means. Do you think those who changed their nationality and were rejected by Dragon Country are the main force behind the recent barrage of slander against Chen Fan? This is very likely. The relevant departments of Dragon Country have actually been investigating this matter, but the situation of the secret live broadcast made it impossible for them to start. It's a pity that so many countries have been eliminated. Even if Chen Fan eliminates the players from those countries, there will still be countries left. Hold on for a while, until we really develop. I wonder who dares to lead the pace and instigate our internal struggle. If there is, then destroy them. On the secret side, Ye Yuqing was obviously dissatisfied with Chen Fan's deception again. Seeing Ye Yuqing's reaction, Chen Fan hurriedly said, "It's not that I won't tell you, it's... I really can't say it." Chen Fan showed an embarrassed expression, which made Ye Yuqing a little confused. "Why can't I say it?" "You are a grown man, what can't you say?" "Still shy?" Ye Yuqing asked with a frown. "Companion, my talent is companion, companion teammate. In other words, I am your vassal and need to accompany you. You said, I am a man after all, and I became a vassal of a woman. If the audience of Dragon Country saw this, wouldn't they laugh at me every day? Am I embarrassed to say it?" Seeing Chen Fan's pretending to be wronged, Ye Yuqing was also stunned. "Companion? Vassal?" Suddenly, Ye Yuqing became a little excited. "Doesn't that mean that you have really become my little follower? Then you have to protect my safety in the future. If I die, you can't live either." Ye Yuqing instantly felt that she had stood up. Isn't this a peasant turning over and singing? Seeing Ye Yuqing's excitement, Chen Fan didn't say anything. "I know that this girl is easy to fool, and she believes everything she says." Chen Fan didn't really mean to deceive Ye Yuqing, but he really couldn't say it. What is this place? In the fantasy world, super strong people can extract soul memories. Once Ye Yuqing knows about this, this kind of thing may be exposed in the future. Although this is only a possibility, Chen Fan doesn't dare to take risks before he has absolute strength, otherwise, the secret will be leaked, and everyone will know that if Ye Yuqing is killed, Chen Fan's ability will disappear. This is also a very dangerous thing for Ye Yuqing. While thinking, Dan Chenfeng came back with the recipe and materials. These materials were all Dan Chenfeng's savings over the years. Fight. Dan Chenfeng also wanted to fight with Ye Yuqing and the others, otherwise he didn't know how long it would take for the next chance to come. "Yuqing, let's start." "Oh, okay." Ye Yuqing nodded, and just as she was about to make the pill, she suddenly felt something was wrong. Why did the feeling of turning over and being in charge disappear? The happy experience ended just like that. I became a farmhand again. Chapter 69. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 3 days later. Master, it's been 3 days, why haven't they come out yet? 3 days have passed since Chen Fan and the other two entered the alchemy room, and they have never come out during this period. Dan Yi was also a little shocked. What a great courage. What do you know, young man? After experiencing the joy of the first success, you will be addicted to it. However, these two people are really energetic. They have been awake for 3 days and 3 nights. I admire them very much. Dan Chenfeng didn't expect that Ye Yuqing would work so hard, talented, perceptive, and hard-working. Such a person will surely become a great man. But 2 people are in an alchemy room, there are not so many alchemy furnaces. Do they take turns to make alchemy? If so, there is time to rest. Hearing Dan Yi's words, Dan Chenfeng shook his head and said, only Ye Yuqing is alone. Chen Fan didn't make alchemy, as for the reason, I don't know. Master, I know the reason. Stupid, what about Chen Fan who is the first on the gold list? I think he has the same name as others at most. Dan Yi curled his lips. He didn't believe that this Chen Fan was really the first on the gold list. Seeing Dan Yi like this, Dan Chenfeng also shook his head helplessly. You are still too naive and simple. Who is Ye Yuqing? She is the 4th on the Tianjiao gold list. Would such a person not have his own pride? But she obeys Chen Fan's words. How could it be possible if he is not the first on the gold list? Chen Fan is very purposeful. I just followed your words to prevent him from asking for too much and losing these 2 talents. Dan Yi, you grew up in Yaoshan Valley and have never been out. You really need to change your temper. This world is often not as simple as you think. Oh, forget it. You won't understand even if I tell you. Although Dan Chenfeng is cynical, he has lived a long life and experienced a lot. How could he not see that Chen Fan is the leader? As for Dan Yi, seeing his unbelieving expression, Dan Chenfeng sighed helplessly. Although Dan Yi is over 40 years old, he has lived in Yaoshan Valley for many years, has never gone out, and has never seen outsiders. He is as innocent as a child. If Yaoshan Valley is handed over to him in the future, can it really continue? Dan Chenfeng felt helpless, but there was nothing he could do. Now in Yaoshan Valley, the one who is truly capable and qualified to inherit is Dan Yi. As for Chen Fan and Ye Yuqing, Dan Chenfeng knew that these 2 people would not be willing to be trapped here and be a valley master. In the alchemy room. At this time, Ye Yuqing's face was flushed and sweating profusely. Chen Fan, I can't do it anymore. I really can't stand it anymore. Please, let me rest for a while. It's almost there, come on, hold on a little longer, it will be fine soon. But I'm sore all over now, I don't have any energy at all. How about I give you some more spirit stones, can you breathe them in? Recover. I can't breathe anymore, I really can't breathe anymore, let's rest for a while, just for a while, isn't it okay? If this momentum is not relieved, we must go straight to Huanglong and get it done in one step. No. I'm done, I want to rest, I want to sleep, I'm too tired. In these 3 days, Ye Yuqing felt unprecedented fatigue. From the initial excitement of just contact, it slowly turned into repeated movements like a machine. Finally, there was fatigue and even dizziness. Refining pills not only consume spiritual power and physical strength, but is also a great test for mental strength. You must be highly concentrated to avoid mistakes. During these 3 days, Ye Yuqing had not rested except for 2 short breaks to absorb the spiritual energy in the Spirit Stone for recovery. Many Dragon Country citizens who saw this scene were distressed. Although Chen Fan did not make pills, he was always with her and even found several mistakes when Ye Yuqing was making pills. Yuqing, I know you are very tired now. But you are already a 3rd-grade alchemist now. You only need 1 step, just this 1 step, and you can become a 4th-grade alchemist. Then, we can go find the spiritual fire of heaven and earth, change to a better alchemy furnace, and challenge the 5th grade or even 6th grade pills. Can you really not hold on? Ye Yuqing nodded, and then sat down on the ground. She didn't want to think about anything now. After doing it, I just want to have a good sleep. Seeing that Ye Yuqing had just laid down and fell asleep with steady breathing, Chen Fan walked over and picked her up directly. In the past 3 days, both of them have gained a lot. Ye Yuqing's success rate in refining third-grade pills has now reached 90%. Going further, she can successfully refine fourth-grade pills. Chen Fan now has a 100% success rate in refining third-grade pills. In addition to bringing this success rate, the critical hit reward also brought him a large number of first-grade to third-grade pills. This amount, for a sect like Xiantian sect, is also a wealth that can make people's eyes red. What's wrong? Seeing the two people come out, Dan Chenfeng hurried forward to ask. Nothing, just too tired. Too tired? Hey, young people like you, I know you are very competitive, but you should also take care of your health. The room has been cleaned up for you, take her to rest. Dan Chenfeng was relieved, but also a little distressed. This child is too desperate. Does he really not take his life seriously? Dan Yi, why are you still standing there? Hurry up and lead the way. Ah. Oh, I know, master. Dan Yi was about to take Chen Fan and the others to their residence. Chen Fan glanced at Dan Chenfeng and said, Senior Dan, please prepare the fourth-grade pill formula and materials. Wait until Yuqing has rested, it should be useful. As soon as these words came out, Dan Chenfeng and his apprentice Dan Yi were both stunned. Fourth grade. Prepare fourth-grade pill formula and materials. Could it be that? You mean, Ye Yuqing can now successfully refine third-grade pills? Dan Chenfeng asked with some trembling. Well, the success rate has reached 90%. Should I be able to refine a fourth-grade pill soon? Should? This is not a should, it must be possible. Do you know that even a fourth-grade primary alchemist may not be able to achieve a 90% success rate in refining a third-grade pill? She already has the strength to challenge a fourth-grade alchemist. 3 days, just 3 days. Is this something that can be done by human power? As the master of the medicine god Valley, Dan Chenfeng has heard of and seen too many alchemy geniuses, but throughout history, he has never seen such a fast speed. Oh. Has it been achieved? It seems that these 3 days of hard work have not been in vain. Then I'll trouble you. No trouble, not at all. When she refines a fourth-grade pill, I will tell you everything you want to know. Okay, see you tomorrow. Chapter 70. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Fan did not disturb Ye Yuqing. After sending her back to the room, he walked out. It's okay, I'm just tired. Don't worry. Seeing Dan Chenfeng still watching outside with some worry, Chen Fan shook his head helplessly. You young people, although you have strength and talent, you should also be careful. This is really harmful to the body. Dan Chenfeng said helplessly. Well, I see. Senior Dan, do you mind chatting? Okay, I know you have something to ask. Dan Chenfeng was concerned about Ye Yuqing's situation on the one hand, and on the other hand, he also felt that Chen Fan had something to say. Just now, Chen Fan said that he would see you tomorrow, which was obviously for Dan Yi to hear. In other words, Chen Fan wanted to ask alone. Dan Chenfeng brought Chen Fan to his residence, and then asked, What do you want to ask? Just ask directly. No one will hear the conversation here. Let's talk about the land of immortality and the strength of alchemists under the age of 50. After all, knowing yourself and knowing your enemy will ensure victory in 100 battles. Hearing this, Dan Chenfeng nodded in agreement, but the next sentence made him a little embarrassed. And the past and reasons for the decline of Yaoshan Valley. With a scale like Yaoshan Valley, it is impossible for it to be what it is today. You also said that Yaoshan Valley once had a transcendent status in the land of immortality. Why did such a transcendent existence fall into such a state? Chen Fan's words can be said to have aroused Dan Chenfeng's inner scars, but there are some things that must be asked and must be asked clearly. Do you really want to know? Dan Chenfeng asked helplessly. Ye Yuqing has joined the medicine god Valley. She is not a treacherous person, so I must know the dangers and enemies she may face in the future. Not knowing who the enemy is, sometimes, it is very dangerous. Chen Fan's expression was serious, changing his usual relaxed expression. Hey. Okay, then I'll tell you everything. After a long time, Chen Fan sighed. The former medicine god valley can be said to be the most desirable place for all alchemists in the land of immortality. The medicine god valley gathers nearly 70% of the alchemists in the land of immortality, and there are countless high-level alchemists, and the scenery is unlimited. In the land of immortality, no one in any force is willing to offend the medicine god valley, because it means that they will lose the opportunity to obtain high-grade elixirs from now on. The medicine god valley once became a holy place for alchemists, and even a saying was circulated in the land of immortality: only by entering the medicine god valley can you have the opportunity to become a top alchemist. The status of medicine god valley seems to have been ruined by its own hands. Hearing Chen Fan's words, Dan Chenfeng nodded helplessly. Yes, it was ruined by its own people. The previous valley master, together with several elders, wanted to work together to refine immortality pills. You know, immortality pills are extremely difficult to make, and the materials needed are also rare in the world. Although many people opposed this, the Valley Master had made up his mind. In the end, the Valley Master led the 8 elders to refine pills together. What a pity. Failed? No, it succeeded. But the birth of the immortal pill triggered the arrival of thunder. In the end, the Valley Master and others could not withstand the powerful thunder and all died on the spot. The immortality pill was successfully refined, but in the end, they died under the thunder. This is too bad luck, right? But from this point, it can be seen that if you want to become a powerful alchemist, you must have matching strength, otherwise, this is the consequence. So, all the top alchemists in Medicine God Valley are dead. In the end, because of the immortal elixir, Medicine God Valley was attacked by everyone? Chen Fan asked with a frown. No. The thunder destroyed everything nearby. Except for the Valley Master and his people, even the alchemy furnace disappeared without a trace. The elixir should have been destroyed by the thunder. Medicine God Valley suffered heavy losses, and those who originally opposed it chose to leave the valley. At first, only a few people left, but other forces could not resist recruiting them. Medicine God Valley is no longer the same as before, so it naturally lacks appeal. Some of those people joined other forces as guests, and the other part set up their own schools. It is said that they created an alchemist alliance. Over the years, occasionally someone wants to join the valley, but they can't hold on for long. It seems that more than 30 years have passed since the last time someone joined. Dan Chenfeng looked depressed. After all, he was a witness to the decline of the valley from glory. 30 years. Who are the disciples here? They are orphans I picked up and raised in Yaoshan Valley since they were young. They are also pitiful people, just like me, heartless and alone. How miserable it is. Dan Chenfeng is cynical by nature, but how much has he carried behind him? I am afraid that only he knows the pain in his heart. If it were not for his character, he might not have survived until today. Yaoshan Valley will completely become a thing of the past. In other words, the 3 words Yaoshan Valley will not attract hatred. There are no enemies. There should be no enemies, but hatred. People from the Alchemist Alliance will probably hate people from Yaoshan Valley more. This is also why I don't allow disciples to go out. The Alchemist Alliance hates Medicine God Valley. They are obviously from the same lineage and have stopped bothering each other, so why do they hate each other? It can't be because the current Medicine God Valley has become a shame in their hearts. They dare not face the memories, so they will hate the people in Medicine God Valley, right? This is too narrow-minded. Chen Fan frowned and said, alas, people's hearts are unpredictable, who can tell clearly? There is really love and hatred without reason in this world. But you don't have to worry, at most, it's people who don't like Medicine God Valley, and things like squeeze may happen, but it won't do anything to you. Besides, one is the first on the gold list, and the other is the 4th on the gold list. who dares to act rashly. Chen Fan laughed and didn't want to discuss this topic anymore. Everything was already understood, so Chen Fan didn't need to continue digging into other people's scars. Don't worry, the future Yaoshan Valley will not be like today. Wait for the crowds to come and recruit many disciples. But before that, you should also talk about the matter of the heaven and earth spiritual fire, right? We don't have much time, so we can't waste it. After finding out about other things, the next thing is the heaven and earth spiritual fire. This heaven and earth spiritual fire is the flame bred between heaven and earth. After countless years of bread, some spiritual fires have even possessed spiritual intelligence. Chen Fan has such a spiritual fire, called blue flame cold fire. Although it can only be ranked 25th among spiritual fires, it is much more powerful than ordinary flames. I only know about one spiritual fire. It is the purple ghost Folan, which ranks 11th among spiritual fires. However, with Ye Yuqing's cultivation, it may be a bit difficult to conquer Zio Fulan. Tell me, what do you need to do to help her? Wait a minute, I need to think about it.